Now, before I start this video, a quick intro to everyone, as I just want to keep things as much optimized as I can. Now, there's something about Indian gamers and gamers overall in general that we play games primarily to kill other players online in a competitive FPS sort of environment like Fortnite or PUBG, Battleground, Free Fire, whatever you want to call that, right? Call of Duty and your typical GTA 5. We need to understand what drives these games. It's primarily microtransactions, and it's the satisfaction you get by killing other players and proving that you are better than them by paying for extra bundles and skins and guns and whatnot, right? Me personally, I have never played Fortnite or PUBG for that matter, but I have been in those sweaty GTA 5 lobbies and sweaty try-hard Call of Duty lobbies with all my squad mates and everyone ready to jump and kill. Now you also need to be really good. Some players like Shotzi and Havoc from Call of Duty are prime examples of skilled players, and which is why they have my respect. But lately, as I mature by age, I have realized that as much as you like it, there is honestly nothing to do in these games but to keep killing online players just for fun and satisfaction over and over again. It's not a bad thing, and I'm of course not going to judge you for, playing games like Fortnite or PUBG, but overall I can get a feel of what type of a gamer you are. You might like stuff like Souls, you might like stuff like sports, you might as well like your AAA stuff like Ghost of Tsushima, God of War. Heck, you might even like simulators, right? But what after that? What next, you might ask? Enter Edmund Macmillan. Just like in the movies, there is MCU. It's a complete universe in itself. Every game by Edmund Macmillan is a masterpiece in itself. Now you might even say that every game made by him is goo crap. It's okay, it might not be your thing, but there is something about these games that honestly no other video game in the entire history has ever achieved. It is so dark, you might not even understand what the heck is going on. The personal story of a game developer going through trauma, child abuse, drug addict parents, so much more, and a strong influence to Catholic religion, and along with it comes all of the dark sides of it as well. So without further ado, let's start with the breakdown, and as always there will be timestamps on the video for your related topic as well. Okay, so the story starts as Edmund Macmillan, the principal game developer of Nicalis and ex-Team Meat, who suffers from a lot of issues from childhood. Enter the Binding of Isaac. Before I proceed ahead, I want you guys to just see this little intro of Isaac.
Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television. Life was simple, and they were both happy. That was until the day Isaac's mom heard a voice from above. "Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved." "I will do my best to save him, my lord," Isaac's mother replied, rushing into Isaac's room, removing all that was evil from his life. Again, the voice called to her. "Isaac's soul is still corrupt. He needs to be cut off from all that is evil in this world and confess his sins." "I will follow your instructions, Lord. I have faith in thee," Isaac's mother replied, as she locked Isaac in his room, away from the evils of the world. One last time, Isaac's mom heard the voice of God calling to her. You've done as I've asked, but I still question your devotion to me. To prove your faith, I will ask one more thing of you. Yes, Lord, anything, Isaac's mother begged. To prove your love and devotion, I require a sacrifice. Your son, Isaac, will be this sacrifice. Go into his room and end his life as an offering to me to prove you love me above all else. Yes, Lord, she replied, grabbing a butcher's knife from the kitchen. Isaac, watching through a crack in his door, trembled in fear. Scrambling around his room to find a hiding place, he noticed a trapdoor to the basement hidden under his rug. Without hesitation, he flung open the hatch, just as his mother burst through his door and threw himself down into the unknown depths below.
So Isaac's mom has been told by God to kill Isaac, her own son. Yes, you heard it right. And in order to save himself from his own mother, Isaac goes away in his bedroom and hides in his basement, which leads to him finding giant creatures and bosses. And Isaac can shoot with his tears. And there are about 700 plus items in this game. And there is even a wiki dedicated to Isaac. So the plot of Isaac has to make his way through and fight all these creatures. But no, it doesn't end there. The game has 16 different endings, 17 different characters, and after some runs in the game, you will get an encounter with Mom herself. It still doesn't end there. You kill Mom 11 times to unlock Mom's heart, and then you kill Mom's heart 11 times to unlock Isaac himself as a boss. After which, you get an encounter with the devil himself. And it still doesn't end there. You still get an encounter later on in the game where you beat Isaac yourself in your mother's womb. And it is so deep that it will take an entire 1 to 2 hours to explain stuff in Isaac specifically. So I would only request you to play the game yourself and start your own journey on this Edmund Macmillan universe, which is so deeply knit and tied in itself that, like me, you might as well get lost into this universe. As a kid who went through issues myself, dealing with bullies and quite a lot of other stuff, I completely relate to the idea of this game, and I personally think that these games will go down as the top of the best games in the entire history of gaming. After losing my dog about a year ago, I myself was in a very dark place, and still at times I am. So these games help me deal with all of this stuff, as I know that I'm, not the only one out there. And before we proceed ahead, please listen to this clip by the man himself, Edmund Macmillan, on his idea of working on the game of Isaac.
And in the end, the thing that I wanted to do was I want to make something so old school, so like experimental, very risky, very dark, weird game that is as honest as I can make it to who I am as a person. I'm going to talk about my personal life. I'm going to talk about religious themes and all this other stuff. And Tommy and I were talking about doing a roguelike game. And I thought, okay, well, it'll be an opportunity to prototype a roguelike. I've never done one before. So I'll prototype something with randomly generated content, and maybe that'll aid in the future of whatever we ended up doing, which was nothing. So I asked Florian, I said, he's up for anything. He's the guy that made Coil, Triachnid, the C Word. I wanted to do something where didn't fucking care. It was a Flash game. I was gonna probably put it out for free, maybe get a sponsorship. It was just gonna be so weird and so dark, and the themes were gonna be so awful. I talked about it being my midnight movie. I was like, I know that I know that people like me, which are probably a very small fraction of the population, will really love it. And that's all I really cared about.
Isaac has 3 paid DLCs, and honestly, one video is not enough for Isaac. But enter in chat, the end is nigh. Now again, please watch this little intro of The End Is Nigh.
Okay, we're going to load up one of my favorite games here. Here we have The End Is Nigh. It's a classic old-school platforming game, and, it's one of my favorites. One of my favorite games. You got your classic controls, you got your jumping, you got your going left and right, and, like always in these games, avoid the spikes. Wait, what? Oh, shit. Oh, no! No! No, 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 no! No! Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Oh, God, no, this can't be broke. Here, let me get the cartridge out. Okay. Oh, no, it's still not working. Oh, fuck! Fuck, what am I gonna do? Fuck! Dear anybody reading this, I'm probably dead. That wouldn't be surprising. Everybody else is. There was some kind of apocalypse, and then all that was left was me. Well, most of me. All in all, hasn't been so bad. Till yesterday. My favorite game cartridge finally broke. So I think I'm gonna go out and make a friend. I'll have to go out there. Outside. It's a dangerous, twisted place full of death, decay, and death mostly. But you know what? Imagine all the fun we'll have, me and my friend, Collecting tumors, spitting teeth for distance. Hey, if I do it right, repopulate the world. It won't be easy, but I have nothing left to lose, except my other eye. Oh well, fuck it.
Every character here is a reference to Isaac and other universes of Edmund, and it is so hard that you might end up breaking your controller. Yes, there is honestly no end to this game, with over 20 plus chapters, each having 20 plus levels, collectibles, and bonus secret levels. It is such an amazing game that will keep you hooked on for hours if you can manage to beat the game on some levels which are borderline impossible. While we are talking about Edmund universe, you cannot forget about Super Meat Boy, the game that started it all. Again, so hard that you might just give up. Hard is not the right word for these games, as hard is easy here. This is not your Fortnite stuff. This gets real. This gets sweaty. This is not a joke. All these games will take you an average of about 200 plus hours to finish, and Isaac in particular taking about 350 to 400 just for the base game, and DLCs will take you more or less the same amount of time. But here is where it gets interesting. With every progression in an Edmund Macmillan game, you come across new content and it never gets boring. It's full of exciting new stuff, and 90% of the time will need real good skill to master. Just hear what Edmund had to say about Super Meat Boy in an interview.
Super Meat Boy is my first console game. I worked on it for 2 years with Tommy Reffinis. It was a grueling experience. I saved up about $18,000. That's what I had in my savings from a shitload of Flash sponsorships of all the other games that we've been talking about. I thought, okay, well, this is what I have to live on. I can live on this comfortably for a year because I know how to live poor, and and I won't take any more contract work, and I'll be able to double down on this console game. And it ended up taking 2, and I ended up having emergency gallbladder surgery and going $40,000 into debt, and it was just a nightmare ride. Every bad thing that could possibly happen did happen. A lot of stuff we can't even talk about due to NDA stuff, but it was a rough roller coaster ride. But the whole time I knew that we had something that was really cool. Everybody else said no. Everybody we were working with outside of our producer said no and would give us these fucking reports saying, you are not gonna sell well, here's how much you're gonna sell. I remember the games that came out before us, like Comic Jumper and stuff like that, they sold like 7,000 copies, 10,000 copies in the first month, and they're like, you're gonna sell less than this, we projected you less than this, and it was like, fuck. I believed in it, and Kevin, our producer, believed in it, and Tommy believed in it, and it was kind of this, it was such a surreal experience working with these business people, these faceless business people that are telling you that your game is not gonna sell well, it's just not gonna do well because it's a two-dimensional game and because it's too hard. And there weren't many difficult games outside of like N, you know? You've got this group of faceless people telling you it's not gonna do well, and then when it does well, they take credit for it. Outside of that though, the game was fun. I knew the game was fun. I played it pretty safe. It wasn't a risky game in any way, shape, or form, but my aesthetic was there. I didn't want to make an M-rated game. I was very nervous about that, especially with some of the themes. You know, when you've got a character called Dr. Fetus, and you've got a meat boy character, and you've got like a lot of weird themes in the game, a lot of rusty needles and stuff like that, you know, and a fetus that gets stomped on at the end, and it was weird to submit that to ESRB and be like, how can I write? She stomps and poofs of red. I think I said poofs of red fly up into the air, thinking that was what it was. And I remember getting the email back and saying, it says here you've got a poop character, and he farts. How long is the fart? What?
Bumbo live in a box behind the house on the hill. Bumbo have trash, Bumbo have coin, life good. Bumbo happy. That till Bumbo hear voice from above. That nice coin you have there, Bumbo. That not you coin, Bumbo yell. Go away from it. Suddenly bad guy come and take coin. Then vanish down hole. Bumbo think fast, grab trash and jump down hole after coin. Monster try and stop Bumbo, but Bumbo smart. Bumbo use trash and fist to fight them. Nothing stop Bumbo. Bumbo what? Coin.
With that being said, recently I have also been playing The Legend of Bumbo, which is again a part of the Edmund universe, but comparatively it is a lot easier than some of these other games. If you as a gamer want to start your Edmund journey, now is your time. It's a great time to start these games. These games will leave a mark on your entire gaming history, making you question, are these the perfect games ever made in the entire history of gaming? The fact that they are so dark, the fact that it's the personal story of the developer himself, or the fact that they are so hard. There is just something that will draw you in, so please give in. Leave your PUBG, leave your Fortnite, as you will never touch them again once you start playing an Edmund Macmillan game. Also, a much deserved shout out to games that I have been playing off from the Edmund universe. They are similar to every Edmund game, but without the dark, creepy vibes. But they do have their own vibe as well. Some of them are splasher, N++, Jump King, I Am Bread, Slime San,
Hey, how's it going?
and of course Celeste. Those will be games I will recommend to you to play to get some refresher in between your Edmund games, as at times they can get really frustrating, but honestly, if you can keep at it, you will beat it, and the satisfaction will be way more than killing an online player. And if you've never, I would strongly suggest trying out some of these games from Edmund Macmillan, and hopefully you relate to the entire story and journey yourself as well.